Welcome to another episode of Good Cooking, and as you know, there's nothing we love more than meat. So we wanted to highlight our butcher, Huntington Meats. Located at LA's original farmers market, Huntington Meats is the best in LA. And they let us behind the counter to show us how to pick out, slice, and cook our favorite cuts. So without further ado, here's Huntington Meats head butcher, John Escobedo. We got here that we're gonna cut up today.
Well, we're going to take a look at a boneless ribeye, prime ribeye.
Okay.
We're going to do a tomahawk ribeye.
Nice.
Then we're going to do a prime porterhouse. So your porterhouse, best of both worlds. You got your New York, and you got your tenderloin.
Are we looking for marbling in there, like, you know?
We are looking for marbling in there. We look at the backside.
Okay.
And you can see the eye right there.
So what does the marbling give us? Why do we want that?
Well, the marbling goes through all the muscle meat.
Okay.
So when that marbling melts out of it, not only does it give you flavor, but it breaks the fibers down.
And this is all vegan, right?
Yes, oh yeah. Vegans welcome, you know? Let's knock out a couple boneless ribeyes.
A little boneless ribeye.
So when you look at your ribeye, this part here is the spinalis. That is the tastiest muscle on the cattle. You want good flavor, you want good eating,
That's what we're looking for.
this is what you're looking for.
How would you go about cooking this?
If you're doing a cast iron grill, you want to do about 3 minutes aside.
I love the cast iron because the cast iron, I like getting that little crust on the outside.
Oh yeah,
What's better than that, John?
definitely.
And you get a cast iron that's seasoned well.
Oh yeah.
You get that little
Oh, yeah,
crust on there.
Definitely.
John, you and I take a nap after.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. This particular muscle here rides to about here. Once you start getting into you can start seeing your spinalis shrink a bit.
So if you're looking for this, you're looking for more of the end of this
Yes.
because of the spinalis.
So if you see the spinalis here, you notice how it shrinks as it gets into the eye. So this eye here connects to this part here, your New York area.
Okay.
So if you look, that spinalis goes down. Now that eye starts to widen. See how small it is here? Once you get to the end, that eye is nice and round. That's where your New York starts to form.
Gotcha. So you would prefer what out of these cuts?
Well,
Like if you had to pick one.
being the size that I am, I like every fat morsel you can get. You know? You can tell my size. So I go for these all day long.
Okay, so we got our ribeye, our boneless ribeye here.
And this tomahawk portion here, and that has your back ribs on it, and you always get the most flavor out of your rib bones.
Yep.
When you're eating a tomahawk, just like the most flavor ever.
It's the
Monster
novelty
steak.
a little bit of it. as
Exactly.
well. You know, you get this served to you on a plate, you feel like a king.
Exactly.
So what are we looking for here?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Spinalis.
This looks like all my ancestors' countertops, all this marbling.
There you go.
We cover everything in marble for the Italian household.
Exactly.
You know, we may not even have any money, but we're covering it in marble.
You got marble going.
And then we're gonna eat this. Would you recommend bringing this to room temperature before you make it? I mean, I know there's a lot of theories out there about that.
So bringing the room temperature is always great because you ain't gonna have no cold pockets in it.
Right.
I usually leave it out 2-3 hours before I go to
Oh,
cook.
okay. So I should leave it out longer because I usually do it about an hour.
Yeah, an hour's fine. When I do big pieces of meat like that, I like it pretty warm. Cooks a little faster.
More even.
Even.
You're getting that pink right through it.
Sure.
Okay. You know, so many people, when they go out to dinner, or they go out to a steakhouse, the thing that they want the most is filet mignon. As much as I like filet mignon, these are the types of cuts that I love.
Exactly. I'm not a filet mignon guy,
Yeah.
but I will say on a porterhouse, the bone changes up your flavor of your filet. And if you get a bone-in filet, which would just be this bone wrapped around, it's just a total different taste. That's what makes the porterhouse so unique because you get that flavor. Let me whip off a steak and we'll take a look at the inside of it.
I'm here for you.
All right.
Let's go. That's a remarkable piece of meat. This is why I don't care about climate change. That's perfection right there.
I do just like a 3-minute sear on each side on these, no matter how big they are. Then from there, I stand it up and I have an open fire around it so that fire just kind of roasts it slow.
I love this in the cast iron, and what I do is I put a little rosemary and garlic.
Yes, yes.
And then, you know, one of my favorite ingredients, butter.
Oh yeah.
We got to throw some butter in there and then do a little basting of the butter on top
Exactly,
of it.
exactly.
I mean, you know, I think there's nothing better than that. When you get that crust on it, a little bit of that creaminess from the butter, the garlic, the rosemary all in there. That's a beautiful steak.
Then what you do,
That's amazing.
take all that leftover in your pan, pour a little wine in it, a little more butter, reduce it down, scrape it down a little bit, get a nice looking au jus, pour over the top of it when you're done.
This is why you and I.
You know, that's why.
Look at this.
That's why we thick.
This right here. Kings, save the vegetables, get us the porterhouse.
Exactly. So that's how that runs.
Now that you touched on that a little bit, what's the difference between prime and choice?
Prime is the top of the line on the scale, okay? Choice is next runner up. The difference is how old the harvest is. Choice is 18 to 20. Prime starts 20 or 24. In that short period of time, that muscle changes, gets older, the marbling starts to build. Choice is also about 80% marbling than this would be. On a choice item, this would be pretty red. So all this beef here, because it's an 80% grass-fed, we call it a natural beef. And there is a different change. If you do 100% grass-fed, you're gonna get more of an iron taste to it.
So it will change the flavor.
It will change
Whatever's
the flavor.
being fed to those cattle is gonna change the flavor. Did you have to check your steak?
Yeah, let's take a look at lunch.
Okay. Let's take a look at lunch, Ben. Come on.
Here we go, lunch.
Look at this. Business in the front, party in the back, baby.
Right. There you go.
The customers can wait. We got a sample here. This is what we're doing. How'd you get into this?
Well, when I got into the meat industry, I was 15 years old.
Really?
I was working for Del Taco, believe it or not. So at that time, I was a little rough around the edges. Oh, they brought me in. They told me I didn't look like meat mentality. Come walking in, long hair.
You didn't look like meat mentality?
Yeah. So I got long hair. I got a cut-off rock shirt on.
Okay.
The guy goes, I don't think you're gonna work out, man. So back then, they had sawdust everywhere.
Right, on the floors.
So I would leave Del Taco, come down here, clean up all the sawdust, move all the bone barrels out of the way. So then one day he comes up and he goes, you want to learn how to cut meat? Sure. And by the time I was 18, I was the youngest manager at that shop.
Wow.
So I just kind of fell into it, and I took it as an art, and the meat case being my canvas.
You really have just a passion for it, and it's just, I mean, it shows. I mean, your level of quality every time that we get something here is second to none.
These here will go home with you guys.
You are a dying breed.
We are. There's a few guys that are coming up the scale. In the background, this guy here. This guy here.
We can't get him on camera.
He's becoming my right-hand man.
He's been
here.
wanted for 10 days, and we can't get him on camera.
He's my right-hand man now. And that artist flow that we look for doesn't come by. We are the new bar.
I know.
We have customers that come up here, we talk from family issues down to recipes.
The fact that you said that, when I was a kid, I used to go with my grandfather. I kid you not, 5, 6, 7 years old. My cousin and I were a year apart. And growing up in New York, there was this little butcher shop in Queens, New York. And the guy's name was Louis the Butcher.
Louis the Butcher.
Louis the Butcher, I think when I was about 7 or 8, was probably about 114 years old. And Louis had just like this. That's why I love coming here, is because it reminds me of my childhood. And my grandfather would spend about an hour with them, and they would talk about everybody in the neighborhood. And you know, Susie left John because John was cheating.
Yeah, and it's amazing on how you guys get attached with the customers, and it's great.
It's a community.
You
become part of people's life.
We have the average person here that we talk to. We have movie stars, we have athletes, high-end chefs. But when you get to the meat counter, all that's put aside. You're a normal person, you're down to earth, and I think that's the best part about it.
You're buying it around the holidays, you're buying it in the summertime, you're having people over. Like, to me, the meals, they mean everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're around good people, you have nice drinks and you have good food.
Exactly.
Everything else.
That brings it all together.
It's the best. It really is the best. Should we check lunch?
Let's check lunch.
Check lunch. Oh, there it is. That's the money shot right there.
There's your crust right there.
That is.
Huh?
Let's say a little prayer, John. Thank you for these blessings. I know we're looking at the fluorescent light, but my God, a little thanks for sending down this steer, God.
Normally we'll let it rest, but today we're gonna go and just cut into
We're
it.
gonna get right into it.
And for me, rare meat just gives you all the flavor of that cattle.
What do you think about well done steak, John? You tell those people, get the hell out of my house, is that you tell them. That's what I tell them.
This is the spinalis area.
The spinalis?
And this is the eye of it.
The eye. Okay. Should we give it a shot?
I'll jump on some of this eye.
I'm gonna try
that spinalis.
Tom, you have a pillow and a blanket, because I'm ready.
Right.
That is so flavorful, tender. That is so good. I mean, Man.
What do you think? See that?
Forget it.
That's what it's all about.